It's a wonderful afternoon, and I'm probably as happy to see this afternoon come as anyone, perhaps other than Michael. And I say that because, I've had a couple of presidencies in my life, and when you come into a presidency new, certain things happen. You get calls and requests, and people want to tell you the scoop and so forth. But I had something very unique happen upon arrival at the University of the District of Columbia. People called me and said, "What about my brick?" No, I'm not. I'm not telling on anybody now. If you raise your hand, that's all right. I didn't call any names. I didn't call any names, Trustee Dyke. I didn't call it, but I said, "Now that's an unusual request of a new president. What happened to my brick?" And I got so many of those questions about what happened to my brick that I did have to go to Michael. I said, "Michael, what is going on with the bricks, man? Tell me something." And he explained what the deal was and the challenge and so forth, and said that we're going to get there, and when we get there, we're going to do it right and do it up big. And so I'm very, very happy that today we're out here on the Dennard Plaza, and we're moving in that direction. And I want to thank you all. And for those of you like myself who have not decided to participate, I hope you will join us. I can promise you I'm going to have a brick out there. Jocelyn and I will, in fact, have one. And I hope that all of you who have not made that decision, please do so. I didn't bring my checkbook today. And that's old school. I didn't bring my credit card today. I'm telling on myself. I didn't bring my credit card today. But I'm going to do it. And Felicia, we'll take care of that. The only other thing I would say to you is I get teased a lot about failing retirement twice, and people joke about that, and they come up with a lot of stuff. And I will be honest with you, the first time I came out of retirement, and I did serve as president of a university that I was familiar with because I was on Dillard's board of trustees. And I went out one morning to get shrimp and grits. Smurdy, I went out to get shrimp and grits for breakfast in New Orleans. And when I walked back in the room, my plate, I was the interim president. And that'll teach you something about how to behave at board meetings to our trustees. But coming to the University of the District of Columbia, I had no connection, no personal connection. Yes, I'd sat out here when my sister-in-law received a degree. I came here one year for commencement, and I knew many of the presidents, but no personal connection. And I came here solely on the basis of the University of the District of Columbia and the opportunity to serve the only public institution in the nation's capital, in the world's capital, and all that could bring and mean. And it has been a pleasure. It has been a delight to be in a position to help the university position itself going forward. And we need support of alumni, corporate donors, and friends, because the public contribution to higher ed is shrinking, and you all know that. And the only way we can balance it is through private giving and support. And so we hope that you will all pay attention to that, get on board if you have not. If you've wanted to give to the university but you have issues, please see me this afternoon with your issues, because we want to move beyond the issues, because we need your support, and we need it right now. I talked to a graduate of another institution. Her congressman asked me to come see her. He said, "I've got an employee that's been angry with your institution for 23 years. And Congressman Benny Thompson invited me to his office to talk to somebody. And when I went into the office, I said, "I understand you've been upset and angry with your alma mater for 23 years. And she said, "Yes, I am. Because I would have graduated with a 4.0 GPA had not that French teacher given me a B." This is the truth. Ask Congressman Thompson. And she was 23 years. So we've got to get over our issues and those kinds of challenges that we have and move forward to build a very strong university. The University of the District of Columbia is unique. It's the urban public university system. And we have the opportunity to serve people at many levels: workforce, community college, law school, undergraduate school, and graduate school. And for a president, there's no better mission. So I invite you to join us and get on board if you're not on board, and stay on board if you are on board.
I'm delighted to be here, and I want to thank Dr. Lyons, first of all, for his leadership here at the university. I really didn't know Dr. Lyons until, I guess, about a year or so ago, and I feel like I've known you for a very long time. I really think he's brought a lot of commitment, talent, experience to the university, and I would ask us all to give him a big hand for the work that he is doing here. Thank you, Dr. Lyons. And I'm glad to work with Michael Rogers, too, who I've known for a very long time. Michael is very experienced, very talented, and this university is blessed to be able to have him working on behalf of the students of the District of Columbia and the University of the District of Columbia. Michael, thank you very much for what you do. I see my good friend Jim Dyke sitting here, who once served, of course, as the chairman of the Board of Trustees. He obviously has a streak of masochism in him. No, Jim did a great job, and I appreciate Jim having worked with you over these last several years also, as we have worked to move the university forward. This university has been mightily committed to sustainability. And you know, we are working today to be able to make a commitment to wind energy, which we know is the future of the city, and we have plenty of evidence of it right here today as we all start to freeze out here. So I'm going to cut this a little shorter than I otherwise would have. I hope all of you all know what the city's commitment is to sustainability. This is an initiative that I started in the city my first year. It wasn't that we didn't have elements of sustainability going on, but we didn't have a comprehensive approach to sustainability. And I brought a couple people in and said, what are we doing on sustainability? And they said, well, a project here and a project there. And they too had wanted, they were chomping at the bit, I guess we say it both ways, aren't we? Champing at the bit to be able to move forward with sustainability in the city, and that's exactly what we've done. We've got a comprehensive sustainability plan that we've been working to be able to implement fully in the city. We're trying to become as green as we possibly can be. We've gotten a couple of awards at the U.S. Conference of Mayors meetings last couple of years because of our work on sustainability. And we know that the university is very much a part of that. I want to thank the university for having been a leader among the colleges and universities in the city. Of course, UDC is our only public university in the city, and helped us to bring together 9 universities and colleges in the city. And I think we're the only city, and if you don't know differently, then it'll be the truth. We're the only city, I think, in America that has brought together all of its universities to sign on to a commitment to sustainability. And that is pretty extraordinary, ladies and gentlemen. So, again, thank you, Dr. Lyons and the university for having done that. You know, our new student center, which is coming along, it's getting there. I ride past it a lot. And observe the progress that's being made. I mean, just leave that alone at this stage. But there's a commitment, which is extraordinary. It's a commitment for the new center to be LEED Platinum certified. And that is pretty substantial too, ladies and gentlemen. We only have a few buildings in the city that are LEED Platinum certified, and our new student center is going to be LEED Platinum certified. Anybody have a date yet as to when we might be finished with that, Dr. Lyons? Spring. 2015. I'm glad you said 2015. It's been a long time coming, y'all.
Yes, sir.
I was telling folks when I was riding up here that when I was chairman of the council, I was the one that got $35 million put into the budget for the new student center. And it wasn't my last year as chairman of the council either. It was, probably my second or third year in. So, you got to be careful. You got to take the time to do these things right. And I applaud the university for taking the time that is required to make sure that we will have that kind of product when it is all said and done. Thank you guys for that kind of painstaking effort on behalf of the people of the I'm trying, Dr. Lyons. I'm trying. In any event, we're here today to celebrate the dedication of the Dennard Plaza and the pavers that have been put into place. And I'm glad that, through our Department of the Environment, we put in, I think, $2.2 million to be able to make this happen. We've had a 350% increase in the pervious surface located here. And we also have an 18,000 gallon, I think it's 18,000 gallon, stormwater harvesting system, which is a great way to be able to prevent stormwater runoff, which, by the way, for those who don't know, and you probably don't want a long treatise on that today, but that is one of the reasons why our waterways are so polluted, because of stormwater runoff running into places like the Anacostia River, and us not being able to do a better job of preventing that. So we are absolutely doing that, and I want to thank again the university for its commitment to that. So thank you all very much. I am delighted to be here. I wanted to be able to get here to be a part of this dedication ceremony, and I'm looking forward to the spring, to the spring, in whatever year it may be, y'all, because of the painstaking efforts that are being made, to be able to make sure that we have a LEED Platinum Certified Student Center. By the time it's finished, we may have another level beyond even platinum. And thank you all very much for today's dedication and what we're going to do in the future to make this the most sustainable university in the nation. Thank you all very much.
It is indeed a pleasure to be here on behalf of the Board of Trustees, and I acknowledge my two colleagues who are sitting there, Tony and Mary. It's obviously a big day for the board. We're very proud of the fact that so many people have shown their support for the university by investing in the pavers and the bricks, and we want to thank you very much for doing that. But let me also take a moment to say thank you to the students. Some of them are here today, and that's what this is all about. It's providing an atmosphere for the students to learn to be the future leaders of this world and make this university the very best university that it can be. And we're very fortunate at this point to have, as was mentioned earlier, our interim president, Jim Lyons, who I first met when he was the Secretary of Higher Education in Maryland. And he is doing a tremendous job moving us to the next level as we prepare to make sure that this is not only the premier public university in the District of Columbia, but the premier urban university in the world. And let me also acknowledge our mayor, who, as he indicated on his watch as chair, he was always supportive of the university. And I remember meeting with him on numerous occasions on behalf of the university. When others, perhaps in the city, were not as strong, he was always there, and we could always count on him to be supportive. He not only put money in the budget, but he made sure that we had the kind of protection and support that was necessary to grow this university. So please give our mayor a round of applause for all that he's done on behalf of this university. We greatly appreciate it. I also would like to, on a personal note, and I don't want to talk too long because I know you're all waiting to hear the ribbon and you didn't come to hear me. For me, this is a personal honor and a privilege to be here. It was mentioned that I've served on the board a couple of times, and I remember when I was first called by Mayor Anthony Williams to serve on the Board of Trustees. At the time that he called me, I had just finished serving as Secretary of Education in Virginia, serving on a number of different boards, and I really was not in a position to take on another responsibility. But what popped into my mind when he called me with that invitation was the fact that when this university was formed, it was Federal City College, it was Washington Technical Institute, and it was Minor Teachers College that were folded together to make the University of the District of Columbia. The significance of that was my mother was a graduate of Minor Teachers College, along with a number of my uncles and cousins and others who went through that school. And I knew that I would not have been in the position that I was in that day had it not been for the fact that my mother had gotten her education here at Minor Teachers College, which was now a part of the University of the District of Columbia. So I felt that there was no other answer than to say, yes, I will do this because this is my way of paying back what was given to me when my mother was able to get her education here. And so when I walked up here today, I got a tear in my eye when my wife Ellen and I went right over there to the right and looked at the paver that had my mother's name on it with the year 1944 when she graduated. That's the kind of commitment I've made to this university and will continue to make to this university. And I hope that each and every one of you will make a commitment that is suitable for you, either helping us on a volunteer basis, supporting this university, being an advocate for it no matter where you go. Those of you who are able to invest financially, we accept your checks, we accept your commitment. We take Apple Pay, Mr. President. You don't necessarily have to have your credit card. But the investment that you make in this university is an investment in the future of the District of Columbia. And please be an advocate wherever you go for this university and talk about our outstanding graduates and the people who've been associated with this university. And let me mention one other person, quite honestly, who has been associated with this university, and I don't think a lot of people are familiar with that. And that is our DC Police Chief, Kathy Lanier, took courses here at this university. And if you ever want to get her smiling and beaming, you talk to her about the University of the District of Columbia. That's the kind of pride we want to instill, and that's the kind of pride that we all have. So thank you all for coming out here today and for supporting us.
Thank you very much. I don't know about the rest of you, but I didn't like what the mayor was saying about that building over there, but I was clapping like heck because my hands were so cold. I first came to this campus some years ago and looked around and thought, my goodness, it looks like Stalin built these buildings. How could this look so grim? Well, this is 1970s architecture. You can pick out buildings like this all around the city. And I thought the only way we're going to make them look any better is to tear them down. Somehow or another, with the contributions people have made here, this plaza and this space has turned out to be remarkably attractive. It's been an extraordinary achievement. It's taken quite a bit of money to do it, but when you think about what it would have cost to tear down these buildings and start again, it cost a heck of a lot less than that. It's a huge improvement. It's improvement that I think is symbolic. Symbolic of what this university is trying to do to recast itself for the future that we need to have it be. I'm an investment manager. Investment in any enterprise takes investing in your future. Our future in any civic organization, this country as well, lies in two things, I think, in infrastructure and education. It's the people that make our city, it's the people that make our country, and they have to be educated in a world where we're all operating in a knowledge economy. So for those of you who've made a contribution, I'm very grateful. For those of you who haven't, please do. But it isn't just money. There are all kinds of resources that you folks have that you can offer to students here at this school to help them get through it, to help them do their studies, to help them get to the point where they can get jobs and stay in the city. Thank you all very much for being here.
Just briefly, to Mr. Mayor, to Dr. Lyons, to the UDC family, to everyone who had a part in making the event this evening possible. I was here when the plaza was dedicated. I've been a Washington native since 1974. Love this city, love Atlanta too, but love this city. And have to say that if my father were still alive, he would be so proud. So on behalf of my mother and my two sisters that are in Atlanta, thank you so much for those of you who have donated, for those of you who have not. Any amount counts. Any pebble added to the platform will be welcome. Thank you.
1, 2, 3. There we go. All right.